Oh, I hope it was easy. Like you don't want him to die in bed. Like you don't want him to be discovered.
Yeah.
You don't want Sabu to be discovered dead.
Right.
You want everyone to see it and be like, wow.
He went out.
He died on his shield and it's amazing. Like that's what I wanted. And I didn't really even want him to die. I wanted him to be able to retire and like maybe
his life.
I mean, he was enjoying it as much as he could.
Yeah.
But
enjoy his old age, which I feel like no wrestler really gets to do.
I don't know. I think Ric Flair enjoys his old age pretty fucking well.
Hogan is getting up there.
Vince McMahon enjoys his old age.
That's different.
How is that different?
Because he's running the whole thing, so he's a billionaire, so he's fine.
He's still enjoying it. He enjoyed it while he was there.
That's what I'm saying.
He shit on people for money.
He enjoys it because he's a billionaire. You enjoy everything when you're a fucking billionaire.
Yeah, but that's he worked his way up to being a billionaire. He did do it
on the backs of the people that are dying at like 60 that he won't give health coverage to.
That's look. I'm not gonna say that those people don't deserve health coverage or they don't deserve health care in general. What I am going to say is that's the way it's been for almost 50 years.
I know. And
every
that's a
wrestler, it is a problem, but every professional wrestler knows that.
That's why I'm saying it's different for him.
Why is it different for him?
Because he made his money off of them. That's like the ringleader in the circus.
And look, what I'm saying,
it's different for him because he can enjoy his old age because he has money to
Josie,
do so.
if you always wanted to swim with sharks, you want to.
Yes.
And you knew that there was a possibility of you being attacked by these sharks.
Yes.
There is nothing anybody can do about it. You're going to die.
Yes.
You still want to do this, right?
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
So but nobody that's like if you got in the water with sharks and they were like, Josie had her tits bitten clean off of her body. And there's nothing we can do about it.
That would be so bad. No.
Just one tiger shark walking away with it. Oh, just his mouth full with one.
There's so much plastic in the ocean already. We don't need.
Oh my God. If you were responsible for pollution with your tits, you would be fine.
What I'm saying, it's a different analogy because like if I wanted, I agree that wrestlers are, they kind of know what they're getting into. They know what they're signing up for. Yeah. But I'm saying it's different in Vince McMahon's case because that would be like, nobody's making money off of me going into the shark infested water.
I guarantee if you went into the shark infested waters and you filmed it and then a shark bit one of your tits off.
Then I would make the money.
You'd make so much money.
But it wouldn't be somebody else making money while I'm like not getting health care.
But you'd be making it off the backs of that shark. Who then
to her analogy, what if someone filmed it and then made all the money?
If someone filmed
on the video,
yeah,
like
and then they didn't give me any health care.
What if they did give you some? What if they used the video to raise money?
I should still be the one collecting all of that money. It's my body that that got sacrificed. It's my titties.
But Vince McMahon built a platform for them to make money.
So it's different in that sense. But he still should be taking care of his wrestlers.
Swimming thing,
right? And he should take care of the divers that are going in there and risking their lives.
He's putting as much as he possibly can. He's doing seminars to make them understand what can happen.
He's a billionaire and he doesn't give them health coverage.
I'm not saying, look, I don't agree with Vince McMahon.
That's why I'm saying it's different.
I'm also saying, I also know if Vince McMahon, if I was in a situation or a position for Vince McMahon to come to me and be like, yo, I think we need you to wrestle. I'd be like, you're fucking right. I would fucking do it. So if Vince McMahon was like, Josie, I think you should get them big tits in the water and swim around with this thresher shark. Even though we think that this
thresher sharks are kind of nice.
There's a problem that sometimes they bite off tits and they swim away with it.
Yeah.
You'd be like, well, Mr. McMahon.
But I'm saying my whole point was that it's different for him to experience old age than it is from all of the wrestlers that he's not giving health care to.
I understand. And I will say this, Sabu should have been a multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
He should have been put over more than he was. He was an insanely underused talent in the WWE. And it was a crime when ECW folded and it was almost like Paul Heyman kind of rolled on him too. And I feel so bad watching the final matches that he had where on like a gigantic platform where like fans were just like, yeah, we don't we don't really. It's like we don't want it, and it's like it was so depressing to watch that happen. But I will say, Sabu knew all of that, and he still went out of his way to put on the best matches he possibly could and do things that changed wrestling forever. And it is
passion,
and it is. But I also know Sabu did all of that, damn well knowing the repercussions that were going to come with it.
Yeah.
So, and it's not just him. It's most wrestlers. They already know that there's going to be like, yo, if you fuck up, there's not going to be a lot of fucking safety net for you. But I think a lot of wrestlers go into, I don't think any professional wrestler goes in to an organization like the WWE or any major wrestling promotion with the idea like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to be one of those workhorse guys who just shows up, has a good time, and like go. No, they want to be the fucking man. Nobody goes into wrestling to be in the middle. Everyone goes to be in the top. So it's like
that's like saying no comedian goes in just to work helium as their end goal.
I think there are some people who do that.
Really? Oh, well, there are some people who like their whole thing is just Philly's funniest every year.
Hey, and that's, you know what? They know the risks. Every time there's not going to be any supporter health care. There's not going to be any of that. They will have their tits ripped
Also,
off.
I like that this is coming from someone that just had a health incident based off of a wrestling match.
No, that's literally what I'm talking about. You deserve health care, you stupid fuck.
Here's the thing. I also knew the risks when I went into it.
I know, but you deserve to have your teeth fucking taken care of.
I knew.
I'm not saying the wrestlers don't know what they're getting into. I'm saying that they deserve to be taken care of as people.
I also will say this. I take my own responsibility for my dangerous and stupid actions.
And so do they. But if there was a billionaire making money off of you, I would go, he needs to fix your fucking teeth.
Believe me, I agree with you. But I also know that's never going to happen.
Well, not with that attitude.
You're saying a whole bunch of shoulds.
Yes.
They're shoulds.
Yes.
Make it happen, Josie. What are you going to do?
I'm going to throw my tits into a fucking shark tank and see what happens.
That's the problem with a bunch of people saying, these billionaires should.
Well, they should. What do you want me to do? You want me to go in there and fucking eat him? I'll try.
They're never going to do it.
Yeah.
They're never going to do it. So the thing is...
So all I can do is bitch. That's all I have. Just let me have the bitch.
Women.
Just let me bitch.
Just let me complain.
Just let me bitch.
You sound... Don't do that. Do something. Do something.
What do you want me to do?
I don't know. The bitching, where's the bitching?
I like now that you're like call for action, blow up WWE headquarters.
Sure. That'll work. I don't know the answer. I'm just a point out the problem kind of gal. I have no solutions.
Wow, I'm just a point out the problem type of gal. You mean the billions of you in the world?
I'm a
my
woman.
God, could you imagine if all you guys got together and just like, we're just pointing it out. I'm not going to do anything about it, but shouldn't happen. No, I don't like that. Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy? You know what we should do? We should get together and march down the street. Maybe like we'll just
I've only ever marched once and I was very young.
Oh, what did you?
Don't worry about it.
What did you? No.
It was the summer of 2020. We were all outside.
Everybody was there.
We were all outside.
How'd you feel?
Well, I felt good.
Were you one of the hands up, don't shoot ladies?
No, I didn't have a sign or anything. I just showed up. But then at a certain point, I was in Baltimore, and then at a certain point, somebody started chanting, "Kill all white people," and I was like, maybe we should go. Maybe this wasn't where we should have been. I think I've misunderstood what we're doing.
Did you tell me you chanted once?
No.
You didn't?
I didn't chant once. I got nervous.
Kill all white. Did you back out?
No, because I lived in a part of Baltimore where I'm like, oh, they mean it.
Yeah.
I should go home.
And did it happen?
I don't know. I left.
It didn't.
I mean, no, because we're still here.
Yeah.
They didn't get all of them.
They didn't get all. Well, they never will. It's kind of crazy.
Probably not.
You think they could? World minority. You think they could get us, but
world minority. No, we are the world minority. Yes.
You think they could get us, but
we got money.
Yeah, sure. Where's my money? Where's my billionaires?
In terms of the world.
Trickle it down.
What I'm saying is, in terms of the world, you have money compared to the rest of the world.
Hey! I'm not saying that if I have $500.
If you lived in Guatemala, you would not have those teeth.
You know why would I? See, that's the whole thing. Is I also know I won't ever go to Guatemala.
I've been to Guatemala. It's lovely. You should go.
What part of Guatemala were you in?
Lake Atitlan.
I love that. Now,
And also, Antigua.
Is that the jungle?
Lake Atitlan is surrounded by jungle.
Did
It's
you-
volcano. It's a volcanic
Oh,
lake.
so it's a volcano.
God forbid I enjoy nature. You fuck. You're the one that went to the fucking Bahamas in your jeans and just looked miserable at the fucking
First of
beach.
all, I wasn't miserable. That was nice. That was nice. We also skirted when we went there. We skirted the murder that happened on the Pig Island, which was kind of wild.
Oh,
that we were there.
no.
We were there 2 days. We left a day before that happened.
That's crazy.
It was wild. When we got back on the boat, we were as soon as we got back to Florida, they were like, "Oh, murder on the resort island." in
That's fucking
Nassau."
crazy.
I was like, "Yo," we were also thinking about doing that. We were like, "Let's
Yeah.
go to see the fucking dumb pigs on the island."
It's pretty
even though-
cool. They're just
Is
water
it?
pigs. Yeah. Why are they there? They're not sure.
Billionaires.
No, they're actually. They think it was I think it was like a trading accident or something. One of
trading
them got
accident.
loose. Like they were importing pigs to somewhere. They were going to a port
When
and
did
then
that
one got
happen?
loose. Probably like the 1800s. It was a
So
while ago.
billionaires, 1,800 billionaires.
Yeah, probably.
The white man bringing pigs to Nassau.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't
Zuma
be
is, I
stopped.
think, the name of the beach or the island. I don't know.
I don't
I don't
know.
know the Bahamas enough. I've never been.
So you've been to now. You're the type of person. Where were you at recently? You're a fucking.
I was
world
just in
traveler.
Canada. That was the most recent.
How was the neighbor to the north?
Fucking hated it.
Why? What happened?
There
up
was.
there?
I got. Shut up.
No,
you
I'm
know what? You
asking.
know what happened up
What
there.
happened?
I got socked in the gut by a homeless guy. And you knew that, and you just wanted to laugh at me. I got punched in the street by a hobo. Are we filming? Are we? Oh, we've been filming. Up until that moment, I thought that we were just having a
I'm
conversation.
glad she caught herself. She's like, I was gonna say something. I was gonna.
No, I was just like, you know what happened.
They got by one of those.
Yeah, what slur were you gonna
Yeah,
use?
you could have. We could have bleeped it out.
I
were
don't
right
know.
there.
I don't know a slur for those people. I don't know a slur for the man that hit me. I think you do, but I don't.
What was the man that hit you?
There's a lot of Indian people in Canada, in Toronto.
Oh, it was
an older Indian man.
Well, I've never seen a homeless Indian.
Yeah,
They're in Canada.
you've never been to India.
That's also there's like a
never
billion
been-
of them.
And I'll never
Many.
go.
I'm saying, look at India once. You probably see.
They got like
fair
a whole
amount.
class of
But
homeless.
that is weird because Canada is also the first place I saw homeless Asians. Other Asians.
There's
Whoa.
homeless Asians up there too.
Yeah, that's wild.
I did not like it. It was, I think, the parts, because I went up there to do shows.
Yeah.
I was in Toronto for a week before that. I hated Toronto. It was terrible traffic. There was human shit all over the sidewalks.
The Indians are taking over up there.
It was just not a great. I didn't like the city. And then I went to other parts of Ontario and did shows in those, and those were fine. But it was like March. It was like late March, but that's still winter, so it was freezing and everything just looked dead. So it wasn't like I got to experience. Like, I'm sure there's lovely parts of Canada, but that wasn't.
So you were walking down the street,
Yeah.
and a man approaches. He just comes up and hits you.
He literally came. I'm walking through an intersection. I have my headphones in because I'm stupid, but I was like, I'm in Canada, so what's gonna happen to me here? Turns out a homeless guy's gonna run up and just sock me in the gut.
Did he say anything?
He was screaming something, but it
Man,
wasn't anything like coherent.
I can't.
But yeah, he just came up like literally out of left field and just like as he's like right here, I'm like, what the fuck? And just
Screams
socks me in the
starting to
gut, shoves me
overtake
down.
Lana Del Rey, and then just straight up in
First
the
of
fucking
all,
gut.
I was listening to Rage Against the Machine. Thank you. I was preparing for battle, and then I lost.
Maybe he was also listening
I
to
think
Rage
he
Against the
was.
He
Machine.
was raging against the white machine.
Yeah,
coming to-
I was the machine he raged
He's
against.
like, there they are. Right in the
Just-
gut. So wait, he punched you in the gut.
He punched me in the gut, and then he shoved me, and then I fell to the ground.
Did
and
he
then
say anything?
He was yelling, but I was more just disoriented.
No robbery?
No robbery, and then I just stood
Just
up
assault.
I just stood up. I ran and cried and got back to the hotel. And then I like said to the concierge, I was like, concierge, it was a shitty hotel. I've never stayed in the hotel basement before. That was pretty nuts. I didn't even think you could do that, but I was in
sure
the
you were
basement of this
in
hotel.
Canada?
I was in Canada, yeah.
All right.
But I was I like walked in and I was just like, I didn't realize that like it was dangerous out here. And he's like, oh, you're not from a big city? And I was like, I'm from Philadelphia. And that's not a nice, safe place to be. I've never had a problem there.
Yeah.
I've never had a problem there.
Weird. I can't. Look. Again, I've never just gone up and assaulted anybody.
That's good.
But if I were to do that,
I don't know that we would be friends if you did.
If I were to do that on the street, if I was so brazen to assault somebody, I'd probably rob them. The fact that you weren't robbed is crazy.
I didn't even have anything on me. There wasn't like, I
You
mean, I had my phone.
headphones.
I had my phone
You
and I
had
had my
phone.
AirPods. Yeah.
You had your phone. You didn't have like again, not making assumption about your gender. You didn't have a purse.
No.
You didn't have nothing.
I don't like to carry stuff on me if I can avoid it.
Wow.
So I just use Apple Pay on my phone.
So he just assaulted you. That was an initiation. That guy joined a gang that night.
Maybe.
That was like, yo, go pop someone.
I think he was just mad. I think he was just
About
mad.
what?
I don't know that I'm there. He was out of his tree. When I was out of my tree, I did some crazy fucking shit. I fought cops.
Why did you do that?
I don't know, because I was out of my tree.
Yeah, but I don't. I'm just trying to.
I don't have all of the information, but I can answer whatever question you're asking.
So where did you fight cops?
Italy.
You
That
fought
was in-
Italian cops.
I fought 6. Yes. Yes. I came back and my body was fucked up. I looked like a banana that had been left out for a
Did
week.
they say anything while you were? Come on, bellissima. Stop.
Well, okay, so the roundabout story is that I had a medical emergency that led to a freak psychotic break. That's the basis of it. And so then at a certain point in this trip, I'm mid-psychotic break and I am trying to kill myself as like really putting in an
As you
effort.
do.
And I couldn't, which is thank God. I'm very happy to be here. But
I'm glad you didn't. But what? Look, I'm never. Then we don't need to go into it.
no, what?
How were you trying to kill yourself?
Pills. I was trying to take a handful of
There
pills.
you go.
Oh, and I tried to jump off a balcony. I was stopped. That's the only 2 ways that I know of. I don't have any memory of it, so I'm going off of like
I'm
third-party
glad you didn't do that. But this is
Me too.
Everything you have said.
I gotta tell you, out of that story, I was wondering how many cops could I fight if she took on 6?
Yeah.
Well,
Like if I went
I
to
didn't win.
Italy,
I didn't win. It's just it's Italy, so they don't shoot you like they do here.
They were
that's
just-
what I'm saying.
They were
Now
all
I'm so
smoking one
curious.
cigarette while hitting her the whole time. Come on.
From what I understand, they were all like they were trying to restrain me because I was trying to go off the balcony.
Wait, the cops were on the balcony. Where was this?
This was Sicily. It was Sicily. It was-
Okay, so you're in
part of Italy, but
you're
Sicily.
in I'm assuming a public place.
It was in a hotel.
You were in the hotel.
Yeah.
On your hotel balcony.
I don't remember getting a hotel room with a balcony, but yeah, I guess. I was
Then
at a hotel.
How did they know that were you screaming that you're going to throw yourself
No,
off the
my
balcony?
ex-boyfriend was there and he was trying to get me off the balcony. So he called the police
Oh.
and then they came and then they were trying to get me back and they got me back in the room and then they were trying to do something and I shoved the lady cop real hard. And then like 5 dudes were on me at that point. I was shoving and struggling. They had to, I don't know what they injected me with, but apparently I got a shot of something.
Marinara.
Yeah. That would put me down, actually.
Cheddar
That
blasted
would,
you.
if they just gave me some mozzarella, that would do what they needed to do.
She's going to be out for an hour.
I've told this before on a podcast, but that my best friend was here and she was freaking out because she's like, something's wrong. Like, this is not Josie.
Yeah.
Not that, like, that's not her. We got to figure out how to get her home. So she's like trying to coordinate with the police there. And they're like, oh, well, we will not hold her. And she was like, well, you got to take her to the hospital or something. Like, something's going on with her. And they just kept
No.
saying, they were like, this is just a woman.
She crazy. I
is
bet
just
she
a
thinks
woman.
that if she just appointed very hard at the billionaire, they stop.
It's literally
Stop.
that's literally what they were just like. This is just a woman. She's just heartbroken. I don't know.
She
It's-
just have her period.
That's basically what it was. It was
Have her
just
period.
this is just a lady.
Ladies always throw themselves off a balcony when they have a period. Here's the thing, though. Here's what I don't understand.
Okay.
Your ex-boy, was he in the hotel with you when you were?
He ended up there.
When you were trying to throw yourself off the balcony?
Yes.
Look, I'm not gonna say you shouldn't have called the police, but what I am gonna say is you should have just put your head in a pillowcase and pulled you backwards and restrained you.
He wasn't-
That's me.
He
though.
wasn't the physical type.
Okay, the physical type I understand,
Yeah.
not the physical type.
Yeah.
When someone is like, I'm going to throw myself off of a balcony, you gotta become the physical
Well,
type.
I'm sure he probably stopped me. I didn't go over the balcony, so I don't know what the
Clearly.
sequence of events was, but he probably knew I was going to keep trying.
Again, you're a woman. You wrap them up in a.
But we weren't dating at the time at that point, so it wasn't like he could just be with me.
It's
and, like,
also not a good look to just hog tie a lady.
That's
Look,
also true, but
You
it
know
is
what I
Italy,
mean?
so you
You're gonna
can't
want
get
to
away
get
with
the
it.
police.
Danny,
You're gonna want the police involved
Danny,
as a witness.
Danny, I'm agreeing with you. However, what I'm going to say in such a wild situation where someone has clearly taken pills is attempting to end their own life by suicide over a balcony.
Yeah.
I think if police showed up, be like, yo, I hogtied this bitch who was trying to kill themselves, they'd be like, oh.
Well, their solution was just to let me go.
I
Yeah,
guess.
the police,
I
There was
guess the
nothing that
way
they don't do that in Italy. They don't. There's no 72-hour hold in Italy. They're
the
just
way
like,
I look, I can't. I don't think I could go to the police and be like, I definitely am not trying to kill her.
I would.
That's
I
true.
just hogtied her and she's filled with pills.
No,
I
my-
didn't feed her anything. or-
I see.
They're
that's-
going to investigate,
this,
dude.
This is where I get arrested because I'm like, look, everybody, I saved the day.
Yeah.
But that's just, and really, I would be like, she's fucking clearly on her period, guys.
To be honest, though,
Fucking-
like my adorable ex in his cute, like he was just he wears like sweaters. He doesn't have like tattoos. He was a nice looking gentleman,
I don't
so he
have
could have done that.
tattoo. What does tattoos have to
You
do with
look
it?
like you've been in fights at truck stops. I
doesn't-
can't explain it.
What I'm
but
going
you
to
do.
say is, either way.
Yeah, you're in the boat with me, dude.
Yeah.
We
You
can't be
look-
tying ladies
no,
up,
no, no,
dude.
no.
No,
I'm
yes.
tired of everybody.
Yeah.
If I have to prevent someone I care about killing themselves, I'm tying them up. I'm tying them to a chair.
Yeah, he should have tied me up, but he didn't. So.
But he didn't. You put him. You use every tactic you've seen from movies. You slap him around and be like, "Get a hold of yourself."
Now
Stop
he
it.
called the police.
Again,
He
this
called the
is
police.
not looking good, dude.
Yeah,
No, dude.
you're gonna go to jail.
Dude, put me in jail for doing the right thing, even though I was told by a cop 3 years ago for trying to possibly stop someone from committing suicide,
Mm-hmm.
that you just can't go around doing the right thing, which is wild to hear from
You're
a
the
cop.
only one that gets that advice, though, because of your overall demeanor and appearance.
What does that
I
mean?
think you look very nice. I also think, again, that you look like you've been in fights at multiple
That
truck
doesn't
stops.
matter. I'm trying to prevent
I get what you're saying.
a situation.
Right. But
And that's the thing. You could tell me a million times you can't just go around doing the right thing. I'm still going to do
which
the
is
right
great,
thing.
and that's why I adore you. You're a good
but
person.
and you wouldn't adore me when I'm slapping you, trying to stop
I didn't
ya.
adore my ex when he was calling the police to prevent me from going
Yeah.
over the balcony.
Also, you
but
don't-
now I'm very thankful.
I take this back. You don't hit him in the face. That makes you look bad. You don't.
I'm into that, actually.
No, but I'm saying you don't do it when you're having a manic episode. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
No, you shouldn't.
You tie him up with a bathrobe, and then you leave him on the bed, or you put him in the shower and turn the water on and say, "Cool off." You cool, like from A League of Their Own. I learned that from A League of Their Own.
I did not see that movie.
You've never seen A League of Their Own?
I think my mom was in it, but I haven't seen
What
it.
the fuck does?
I don't. Or no, she was in. Is that a baseball movie? She was in a baseball movie.
Is your mom Madonna?
Who was your mom in A League? Was she Betty Spaghetti? Was she the
I've
WAP?
never. I don't know the. I don't know the
Was
movie.
she the WAP?
I don't know the
No,
movie.
not Betty.
My mom's not Italian. I don't know the movie.
A League of Their Own is a period piece about women
Oh,
where they
it baseball?
It's so in the 40s
Uh-huh.
when men went off to war to keep the public from consuming themselves with the horrors of Americans being overseas fighting the Nazis and the Italians and the Japanese. To keep everyone's morale up, they started a women's baseball league.
Oh no, she wasn't in that. I don't know what she was in. She was in a baseball movie. My mom hates women, so she wouldn't have been in that.
Okay, Field of Dreams, Little Big League, Rookie of the Year, Sandlot.
I don't know.
Who else was in it?
I have no idea.
How does this happen? I don't know. Your mom tells you she's in a movie, but then just doesn't disclose
She
any.
didn't tell me. My
It's a
dad did.
baseball movie.
I love my mom. Well, my mom's a ditz. I introduced her to the Black Israelites this weekend, and that did
Let me
not
guess.
go
Got
well.
punched in the stomach. And then
Holy
they were-
shit. We were just walking down. We were walking from the museum, the old city, and there was like a big thing of Black Israelites. And I thought she knew what that was and would just like walk quickly with me because we had to go through it. They were taking up the whole sidewalk. We had to go through it.
You couldn't cross the street?
I wasn't going to do all that.
This is a lady.
If I go across the street, then they
punched
win.
in the stomach.
That was in Canada. This is America, God damn it. So we go through, and my mom is beautiful. My mom is like 62 years old, and she's still
We've
like
all seen
a
your
fox.
squirt alert, Mom. She's all
hot.
seen it.
Just an airhead. Just a fucking can of condensed air. I love her, but she's a moron. And she's not even stupid. 'Cause like I think truly stupid people lack the capacity to understand. She can learn. I've seen her understand things. I've heard her grasp things that are like difficult concepts to get. She just doesn't care. So she just kind of floats through life, which is crazy. So she wasn't really paying attention, and she's just like, we're walking through, and she sort of stops because they've got like the megaphone and they're talking, and I'm like, Mom, come on. And she's just like standing there. She's like, no, hold on. When are they going to dance? Are they going to dance?
This is what happens when you're...
And I was
your
like,
mom
Mom.
a fucking DJ?
Yeah, she's a DJ.
She was just like, black people with megaphones.
She thought that they were street
This is
performers. We
gonna be-
passed two guys that were
They are
breakdancing, but she
technically
was
street
like,
performers.
yeah, she was just like, when are they going to dance? And I'm like, you can't ask the Black Israelites to dance for you.
You could.
You white devil.
You could.
She did, and
Black
they didn't
Israelites they're... I kind of wish that they would enter Philly's Funniest. They would crush.
They would crush.
They would crush. If
Do
there was
other
black-
places have the Black Israelites? I've only seen them here.
Yeah, we were in...
Oh no, DC has
we
them
were
too.
we were in South Bend and they got them.
In South Bend.
In South Bend, they got them there.
Wow.
It was
Okay.
crazy. It is wild. I used to walk around in the summertime and spring. I used to walk around with one of those like retractable lawn chairs.
Yeah.
And anytime I saw them, I would sit down and watch.
That rules.
It is so amazing. Just the rhetoric that comes out of them. It's second to none. It is all
I
hate
love
groups
it. I love
could learn from these guys. They really go hard in the paint with retardation. Like they
do.
It is nuts.
I just think it's fascinating that like they think they're Jewish. For a group that hates Jewish
Pretty wild.
people, it's wild that they're like, but that's actually us.
I mean, there's a lot of things they think that are just
It's so good.
out of control. The one, I think it was the one time I watched them, they that just made the claim that Beethoven was black.
That's
And
one of
it
my
was like- it
favorite
was one of the new
black
ones.
conspiracy theories. Yeah.
And they were like going off, and they also had all like these printouts of like famous composers, and it was wild. They had like the white face, and then they had like the clear cellophane that went over top of
That's-
it with
shut
the
the
black
fuck up.
face on top of it. It was amazing.
That's so
I was like,
good.
yo, can I buy one of those? How much for that? That is
Did you hear that Abraham Lincoln was black? Apparently. Abraham
why? Because
Lincoln
he was really
black.
loud in the theater. Ow! 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 Don't go in there! Oh shit! Man, Abraham Lincoln, real loud in the theater once. First black man president.
Yeah.
Apparently, what I've also found out is the Black Israelites do not recognize Barack Obama as a black president.
I've heard that.
Which is also wild as hell. I didn't know that was that was a crazy turn. I didn't.
It's funny when you get two opposing hate groups to like agree on something. Like the Black Israelites hate Obama, but like so does everybody in like the KKK, all the white people.
Yes. So, I don't know why. I mean, I never
I like
really.
it. I like when there's overlap in those groups.
Yeah, when they can just come
Well,
together
if
and high
they're
five.
Israelites,
The what?
if they're Israelites, then wouldn't they hate Muslims?
Yeah, I get. Oh wait, Hussein.
I don't know.
I forgot about the
this is
Hussein and
Ooh,
Obama.
true.
Isn't that just a middle name though? Isn't
No, his father was from Kenya.
okay? And he was a Muslim in Kenya. They got Muslims. You've been to Kenya?
I haven't been to Kenya. I was supposed to go to Kenya, and then I tried to throw myself
yourself
off a fucking balcony.
No one wrapped you up in a fucking.
No, and then that asshole went to Kenya on his own. He went to Kenya and he saw giraffes, and I was here having to do a fucking liver detox. Life comes at you so fast.
At least he got to relax a little bit in Kenya. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm in the African safari. You know what? I don't have to worry about some crazy lady.
Yeah.
That I should
He earned
just-
that one.
Whatever.
He earned that.
Whatever. And how bad did you want to go to Kenya anyway?
Really badly.
Why?
This is like a dream of mine. I want to go on safari so bad.
Go to the San Diego Zoo.
I've been. That's not the same. The fucking zoo? That's not the same. I want to go to Africa. I haven't been.
Look, I'm not telling you that.
You look like you are.
I'm just saying that I don't really understand the allure. Like, don't get me wrong. I think animals are great. I just don't care.
Again, you're the one who didn't understand the allure of the Bahamas or anyway. You don't like to go places.
No, I do. I just don't like. Look, I'll go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go anywhere. I don't care about going anywhere. I'll go anywhere.
Yeah, so you don't get the allure of any of it. You'll do it.
I'll do it.
You'll do most things.
Yeah, but like in my head, it's like how much do I got to plan for this? How much do I got to plan?
He didn't fucking plan anything. I planned the whole goddamn thing.
Well,
but yeah, I mean, you have to plan
spade.
stuff if you're gonna go places. Usually,
you missed out on Kenya, but you did see the Black Israelites. I'd say sunrise, sunset.
Yeah.
I'd say two ends of the coin there.
Life is beautiful. It comes full circle.
It's how it works sometimes.
How different is Kenya from Philadelphia?
We don't. Well,
We have a zoo here.
we do have a zoo. Got beautiful zoos. We've got Kensington. We've got it all. We've got everything that Africa has and then some.
That's true.
I'm just saying.
They don't have Trank in Africa. We
don't-
definitely don't.
We don't have any of that.
We don't have a civil war here.
Nah.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
I
getting
don't
there.
know. Do you think there's going to be a civil war conflict again?
I don't
Think there's going to be some cool things?
I don't.
And what side are you going to be on?
Well, who's fighting?
In the Civil War?
Well, in the new Civil War,
In the new
is
Civil
it just
War?
black versus white again?
I think it's going to be a reboot of the people
If
who.
a war happens on U.S. soil, I'm out. I'm gone.
Where are you going to go?
New Zealand.
You're going to go to New Zealand?
Well, I'm going to go to. It depends on. Okay, I've got a couple different strategies of how this would work.
Oh,
If I can,
tell me your go bag strategy. Tell me your home front go bag strategy here for civil unrest in America.
if I can see it coming, then I'll go to New Zealand. If the writing's on the walls and I'm like, it's time to get the fuck out.
When is the last word in the letter? When is the last letter in the last word of the writing on the wall?
When they start arresting opposing politicians, that's when I get out. Or if they suspend habeas corpus, which they're talking about doing.
Yeah. I was going to say, this has already been.
Well, no, we still have habeas corpus. If they start to make it a problem where it's like looking like hairy, like I'm not going to be able to get out, I'll go to Mexico first, and then I'll leave from there.
You'll go to Mexico, then New Zealand.
Yeah.
And then you'll just reside in New Zealand for the rest of your life?
Yeah, I would be very happy doing that.
Now, when you do that, how many other people do you think are going to go to New Zealand with the same idea that you have?
It's hard to get there.
It is hard to get there, but what I'm going to say is how many people?
Oh, a bunch of people are going to try.
Sure.
I got somebody over there that said he'll marry me tomorrow, so I got a plan.
Just what?
Yeah. He's a little farmer in the North Island. I show him my boobs every so often. He said, you come down here, we get married anytime. And I was like, okay. So I have that. Shout out to you. He's not going to watch this, but that's okay.
You know what? No, I got fans in New Zealand.
Shout out to Will. He would love you.
I'm pretty sure, like T-Max in fucking
I was
New
just
Zealand.
about to say, we actually have a decent fan base.
We have a decent fan base.
Fucking A, yeah.
All the boys in Wellington right now,
New
dude.
Zealand
They're the
fucking rules.
men, dude. They fucking rule.
I love New Zealand. It's my favorite place.
Apparently, we're a hit in the New Zealand prison
In the
system.
prison system, we're a pretty big hit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, which is, look, would I go to New Zealand? Probably.
It's gorgeous.
I hear it's gorgeous.
It's the most amazing place. It's tied for Peru.
I just don't want to. I think if in my head, and I'm not comparing the two, so New Zealand, don't get mad, but I am trying to think. So Australia,
yeah.
I would never want to go to Australia.
Very, very different.
I don't want to go there at all.
That's fair.
Australia is a hellhole.
Yeah.
I know several people who have lived there for more than a year, and every one of them have been like, yo, the allure of it being beautiful wears off pretty quickly.
We, in our mind, conflate the two because they're the only things that are close to each other.
Sure.
Very different.
I'm
Culturally, in terms of like nature, everything, it's very, very different. Very, very different.
Well, I think it's in my head. New Zealand isn't it shaped like a wiener? Isn't it wiener shaped? Isn't it like a crooked ween?
The fuck is your dick shaped like?
I didn't say my dick is shaped like
I
that.
said a dick.
A dick can be a dick.
I've never seen a dick look like that. It maybe looks like an exploding dick. Maybe.
I don't
A
know.
little. I don't know. I don't look at things and see dick.
I just know it's like a weird shape. It's like a weird.
It's like the first island is kind of. Oh, it's that.
Yeah, that's a weird looking dick.
That's not a dick.
That's a weird looking dick.
Shut up, Shaner.
That's what it is.
No.
It's a weird looking. It's a little tiny wiener.
But yeah, I mean, if America goes tits up, then all of my dreams are dead. So I'll just travel to New Zealand and die. That'll be good.
That's a crazy. Are you gonna? Are you gonna throw yourself off a balcony?
Look, I can't speak to future Josie, but I hope not. I got that tumor out. You would have loved the tumor, not in that. Like I know you didn't want me to die, and that was bad. The effects of the tumor, awful. You want to hear about this fun thing? So it wasn't a normal tumor. It was what they call a germ cell tumor or a teratoma, which means that it's basically like a bunch of cells that are like, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to be. So they grow the wrong things in a wrong spot. So it was on my ovary. It had teeth and it had hair and it had brain matter. And that's why I went crazy. Yeah.
Wait, you had what is also no, and I could be wrong, but I did watch a small fetus and fetus. Do you know what that is?
So it wasn't a fetus. It wasn't. There wasn't anybody else.
No. There's not that there wasn't anybody else.
Yeah.
Fetus and fetus is when you are in the womb and you were supposed to be a twin, and you resorb the other cell.
So weirdly, my siblings both had that. My brother doesn't have any physical evidence. My sister has 2 different colored eyes. It's freaky. There was no evidence of that. That wasn't the case because that wasn't always there. That popped up sometime in the last year.
Josie, you are so much of a crazy lady that your pussy was like teeth and hair now.
Yeah. I had a brain in my pussy.
That is the last thing any man wants to hear.
Isn't that nuts? And then I think I tried to kill my boy.
Her pussy. Wow. Yeah, this is Danny. You know how I said like I think I'd be right tying up a woman and slapping her for going crazy, especially she's like my pussy wants to kill my boyfriend.
I'm not saying you weren't right.
I'm right
I'm
as hell.
saying
No,
it
I
just
wasn't.
doesn't look.
It doesn't look right until they open her up and find ovary dentata.
Yeah.
It's then I look like I'm the vindicated crazy person.
It had teeth.
Yeah, that's gross. How many
It's
teeth?
so gross. I didn't ask how many, but they told me that that hair, teeth, and brain matter were all present.
Man.
They asked if I wanted to see a picture. I am kind of regretting saying no.
You said no? You're retarded.
This thing really, I'm laughing about it now because it's gone.
So
but
wait, they cut it out and then was it like a ball with teeth? Was it like one of those mad balls from the 90s?
if you cut, like, because they take it out, they cut it off, and then they send it to pathology, and pathology like dissects it, make sure that it's not cancerous and things like
Nope,
that.
just a crazy lady.
Chop it open, hair, teeth, brain matter inside. Which they told me was a possibility. I did not want to see it.
My biggest fear, and I'm not trying to put more fears in you.
No, go ahead. I'm not scared of anything anymore.
My biggest fear is that you removed this part of it, and then later your pussy is like, now I can grow arms. And then you just, like you've been, like you're cut. It's like a hydra. You're cutting part of it, and your ovaries
and
just
more
like,
stuff grows.
You're just going to see a chicken leg fucking coming out of it. I can't wait for the terrible shit to come out of your vagina. Oh,
I hope that's it.
Okay.
I hope that's it.
We've got phone
Are we doing
calls.
questions?
Yes, we do. That is disgusting.
I know, isn't it?
Ryan Shaner's not available. Ryan Shaner is never available. Facts.
Was that me? Was that me when I was going crazy? Who was that?
That was that pussy thing they cut out of you.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
Danny, who was
What
that?
was that?
No clue. Terrifying, isn't it?
That is crazy.
I was gonna skip it, but I was like, it is spooky.
That is
Can
terrifying.
you tell me the number? I'm going to look up who it is.
No.
It's all anonymous.
It's all anonymous.
What?
Yeah. This is all
Ew.
This is all an anonymous thing.
Oh, that's horrible.
Wait, what was it? I'm never available. Facts.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't realize it was anonymous. I'm gonna call this thing all the fucking time now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna harass the shit out of
I
you.
mean, we'll eventually get to you.
Yeah, we're like 6 months behind. Dude.
If you're 6 months behind, wait, was that for real me? Was that for real me? I don't think it was. There's no way. Wait, play it back. Play it again. Play it again. Holy shit. There's no way.
Ryan Shaner's not available. Ryan Shaner is never available.
That wasn't. No, that doesn't sound like me, right? That doesn't sound like me.
I don't know.
I don't think that sounds like me. That's not me.
Well, thanks for calling,
I hope
Josie.
that's not me.
That was fucking weird. All right, what's the next one? What the
What's
fuck
the
was
next
that?
one?
Amazing.
Hey, dude. This is James. Such a pleasure to meet you last night at the
Happy
Billionaires
birthday.
podcast. Just wondering if you're going to rock the turban more or get rid of it. Because it kind of looks good. Turka Turka Mohammed Jihad.
Happy birthday.
I'm gonna rock the turban for Sabu, dude. I will be rocking a turban way more. Now I know what that's from. That's from the Legion of Skanks Christmas episode. So that's how far back we are.
Damn.
That's Christmas.
You were so good in that episode.
I don't know if I was.
I loved it.
That was such a
You
wild.
did a British accent for some reason, which was
Well,
fun.
it's because I was like, "Are we doing? How serious do I have to take this? How serious
You were the only
do I-
one that took it seriously. You and Jay were the only two that
I
like,
think
took
Jay
it.
was just like, "How fast can we get through this?" I don't think he was
Yeah.
taking it seriously as much as he was like, "I got to get through this."
Which
This
is fair, but when it came off as like an impatient cuck Joseph, which was fun.
Sure. Which is basically what Joseph is.
Yeah.
Is a basic cuck.
Yeah.
I feel bad.
Oh,
for,
was that it? Was that the whole?
That was the whole thing.
That's crazy.
That was it.
I like that.
So, your pussy has teeth.
It doesn't anymore. We took the teeth out. We took the teeth out.
I wish you would have said. I'm hoping for like big buck teeth, like weird
I think it was molars.
molars.
I think so. That's what I picture.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I thought they told you.
No,
So
but
they
I
just
think
said,
it's molars.
They just said hair,
teeth, and brain matter.
and brain matter.
Yeah.
That is
So when that happens, your body, I only know this very loosely, so I might fuck some of this up, but because of that, my body still saw it as like a foreign thing, sent out an autoimmune response to attack that. Some of it attacked my brain, and so I went a little kooky, and then I had, a bunch of like my estrogen was all over the place.
I'm not saying that that's not what happened. But what I am saying is if a woman came to me with that excuse for acting crazy, I'd be like, shut the fuck up.
Me and my ex still have not talked. And
I'd be like, that's
I
not
don't know
what
that we ever
happened.
will. I hope so. But yeah, it will be crazy if I have to be like, so that was.
Sorry, it wasn't me. It was the
I had
brain.
a bad.
It was
I had
the
a brain in my pussy.
vagina.
I had a deep pussy brain, and it caused me to try
It
and
made me lose
caused
my
me
mind.
to. It caused me to ruin the vacation. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I ruined our romantic trip to Italy.
Sorry, that brain pussy got me acting
I had
wild.
some brain pussy. I don't know
That
what to
is
tell you.
fucking nuts. Speaking of acting wild, I don't know if you've been watching the news. You watch the news since
Some
you're
of
ready?
it.
Yeah.
Pakistan? Is that what we're talking about?
No.
Oh, they're wild.
We've already touched on Pakistan where you got
Okay.
punched in the stomach and
That is.
so in local news. Did you see the boys who were throwing the geese?
No. I thought you were going to talk about the poop lady.
That's old news, baby.
She rules.
I mean-
why were they throwing geese? Throwing geese at what?
So they were picking up baby goslings and then going up to houses and knocking on the doors and then throwing the geese at the doors.
When like people open the door? or-
Nobody was opening, and there was all caught on ring cam.
That's
So I don't really know.
awful.
Yeah, but man, that's nice to see kids out doing stuff though.
No,
Instead of
it's
just
not.
wrapped up on their phone.
That
That was
really
like
is
fucking-
two different stories because it's hilarious if someone opens the door and someone throws a bird in there.
That's
that you
a
have to
great
deal
story.
with.
That's a fun.
What
That's
if they're
fun.
just smashing the bird?
Yeah, believe me,
Yeah.
it goes both ways. This pendulum swings both ways on this pretty hard.
Having some dumb fuck just open the door and throwing a gosling in their face, hilarious.
Sure.
Throwing a baby goose just
into a
loosely
screen-
into a door.
screen door.
Awful. That's like when fucking Drew and Naeem showed that video of that possum on fire. I cried in public. I hated every moment of that.
Possum on fire.
They went on Legion of Skanks, and I just happened to be there that night, and they showed a video of dudes lighting a possum on fire.
Oh, was it alive?
Yes.
Yeah, we've all seen that. That's
Well, unfortunately, we've all seen that. That ruined my week.
that ruined your week.
Yes. It was a possum on fire.
I don't think anything can ruin your week anymore when you've had a teeth, hair, and brain in your vagina.
No.
I think your week. I think everything that's
That ruined-
so here.
That ruined my life for a little
So
while.
yeah, I'm just saying
So
maybe you need to see a fucking possum on fire for a
No.
second.
he didn't do
maybe-
anything to anybody.
That's true. Look, I'm not all. I'm not.
I guess
for,
neither did my ex or the cops of Italy or
No, they actually the cops in Italy didn't do anything.
they didn't do anything.
They didn't do
Useless fucking guineas. I before that trip, so proud to be fucking Sicilian, so proud to be an Italian American, granddaughter of some immigrants. Now I'm like, fuck those
Man.
guineas. Literally the most useless people alive. Literally the most. They were trying to get me home. Everybody was trying to get me home. My dad called the fucking Italian consulate and is like, we
Yeah.
don't know where she is. And they were like, oh, we do not know. And then I come home. It's been 3 days. They return his call finally, and they're like, we still do not know. And he's like, she's home. She's in
Yeah.
another country. And they're like, oh, this is good.
Wow.
Useless. Useless guineas.
You used to be proud of being Italian.
Yeah, and now I'm like,
Weird.
Jesus, this is why
An
I'm a
Italian
lazy piece of shit.
Proud of being an Italian, out of control.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
I
They're
was-
the most.
I
They're the
was
most
proud.
full of themselves in America.
And now I understand why I'm a piece of shit. I'm like, oh yeah, we're fucking useless. This is why I'm lazy and I can't get anything done. And I have to put myself on speed in order to do anything.
You know,
I'm just a fat grease ball that can't do
Italy
anything.
was great for a second, huh?
When? Oh, yeah. It was nice. Until it wasn't.
When? I don't know. For a while, actually. For a little bit.
Yeah.
Italy was killing it for a
They
second.
were.
They were crushing.
They were doing real good.
And then what happened? We don't even know. What was the fall?
Well, we know.
The fall of Rome happened,
Rome fell, and then the Moors invaded Sicily.
and this made you guys
And just made us
lazy shitheads.
Stupid. Yeah.
Good God! If you could be any other nationality, Russian.
Yeah.
Why?
They're hot and they're mean. They're just hot
They're
and mean.
hot and mean.
Yeah, and they can survive.
That's it. You don't want any. You don't want any type of attribute from Russia.
Well, they're hot and they're mean, and I want both of those things.
You wouldn't put in like athletic, industrious. You wouldn't want any of that. You wouldn't want to be like a gymnast.
They're also
or
funny.
anything?
They're very funny.
Russians
That would
are
help.
funny?
Russians are funny. Yeah,
Which Russian?
just Russian people.
What?
I've never met
Yeah, I was gonna say, where-
a Russian with a sense of humor.
Oh, they're very
They
funny. If you
smoke
put
lit-
liquor in them, they're very, very funny.
Are you sure they're no? When you say funny, are they funny or are they funny? Like which one? Which one?
What were those two options?
Are they funny or funny? Because there's two.
What is this?
You know, just getting.
Is like the idea of them funny, or are they actually being humorous?
A little bit of both. They've got that poor person sense of humor, which I like. They've got poor war-torn country sense of humor. It's good. I like them.
You know, I'm going to tell you a story. It's got no bullshit in it, right? Huh?
You sound Arab.
Sure. I'm not. I'm American.
I know you are.
I can't do anything.
You are
about
as
it.
American as they come.
I can't do anything about it. I don't
Where
e-
does Shaner come from? Where's that? What's your ethnicity?
the fatherland?
Which is-
Germany.
Really?
Germany.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I thought you found out you were Irish.
What's that?
I thought you found out
No,
you
no,
were
no. I
Irish.
was
thought
assuming you were
I had
Irish.
thought I was Irish for a very long time.
Oh.
And then I did my 23andMe, and boy, oh boy.
I got
Oh, I
called
thought
then.
the opposite. I
no,
thought
no,
you
no, no, no,
thought-
no, no. The backboard breaking on German was crazy. And also, not just German, I have no basically Aryan like ancestry at all in my blood. I have no sub-Saharan African. I have no little like cool little flavor bits at all. It's all Caucasus regions of Western Europe, and
This is what Hitler was.
I don't know. I think Hitler wanted somebody taller, more blonde. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'd
teeth.
say you're the opposite of what he wanted.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted me at all. It's like I'm basically I'm a midgetler. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that at all. Like I'm the worst type of Nazi. Nobody wants. Like I don't even think I'd be like I would be like, hey, can you be a Nazi? I'm like, yeah. They're like, get out of here. Get out of here.
Midgetler.
Pipsqueak. You're the worst. Yeah, I
How
found
tall are you?
5'6".
Okay,
Yeah, which is
that's fine.
I guess so. Doesn't help at all. Nothing. I'm in the
Yeah,
Goldilocks
but
zone.
you got like muscle.
Doesn't matter.
But you also get that like
Doesn't matter.
I will fight until I'm dead.
Everything you're saying is great. Thank you. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
To Hitler?
To Hitler? No.
He would have wanted a
It
soldier that
doesn't
won't
matter to
quit.
Hitler. You think I could go back in time and impress Hitler?
Yeah, I think
can't go back.
that if Hitler, I know you can't
No.
go back, but I think if Hitler saw you
No.
and gave you the meth that he was giving everybody else, you on meth, that'd be nuts. He'd take out a whole town.
No, I think he'd throw you right off a cliff.
Yeah, he'd
be
probably be like-
nah, we need this out the bloodline.
He's like, this is problem.
Yeah.
Danny, what are you?
Port Richmond.
Yeah.
Nice. I heard you were a demon. I went on the thing is the other day and found out that you're a demon.
Possibly
That's pretty cool.
a demon.
No, Danny's no demon.
I was like, he's the nicest guy
Danny's
ever.
not a demon.
He's a little sweetie
Just
pie.
believe it.
Yeah. I named the whole company Good Boy. I'm a good
Yeah,
boy.
he's a good boy.
He's a good boy.
He's a little guy. But yeah, I would never. I would. Would I survive Hitler's Germany? It would suck because like they'd still just dress me like a Hitler youth if I was a
Yeah.
Nazi. I'd still be wearing the small little shorts and the little
Yes.
fucking. That would be no good. That'd be the worst. I'd be a very picked on Nazi. Nobody needs that. You know.
You would look cute as a little Hitler youth.
I don't think I would.
You would have.
I don't think I
little
would.
shorts with a stupid haircut.
Yeah, that's no good.
Adorable.
I think the only thing I could ever hope for is being exiled from Germany and then being picked up by a ragtag and glorious bastards type thing. And then just like that would be great.
That would be cool.
That would
I
be
could see you
sick.
doing
but
that.
that's the only thing I would do. Like so there was a guy I used to work with named Bart. He was, I think, 3 or 4 inches shorter than I was. Very small guy.
Mm-hmm.
But Bart was missing an eye. He looked like a fucking leather shoe. He looked terrible. Smoked a pack like
Nice.
almost in an hour. Talk like this all the time. Turns out Bart was in Vietnam.
Okay.
And I was under the impression Bart lost his eye in Vietnam. And I was told this by another guy I worked with named Pete, who was also in Vietnam and knew Bart and told me that Bart was a tunnel rat and lost his eye in Vietnam. And I was like, yo, this is the coolest fucking thing ever. I have to, like, I was trying to figure out when I can ask him about this.
Yeah.
And then after like a month of working with him and being like on good terms and just being friendly with him, I was in the break room and I asked him like, yo, man, what the fuck happened with your eyes? Like, oh, you want to know how I lost this guy? I was like,
If it was diabetes
I
or
was
something.
like, no, even worse. Even worse. So, and the worst part is when you're dealing with the dude, I was like, yeah, I heard you were in Vietnam. I was like, oh, I was in Vietnam. Yeah, I was a tunnel rat. I was a rat for a while. I was like, yo, how did you lose the eye? Was it something cool? He's like, oh, no. I actually lost the eye in 1987. And I was like, how did you do that? It's like, well, I was still working for Super Fresh and I was counting up money. And then what happened was some of the money was really dirty. And I wiped my eye and
Shut
I
the
got
fuck
a
up.
gigantic infection in my eyeball. And I was like, what? He's like, and then my eyeball like basically died and went milky. And I had a milky white eye for a while. And then what happened was I was supposed to put drops in it. He's like, just keep it moisturized. I never did that. And then one day it split. It dried out and split from the back of the optic nerve all the way around to the front.
Oh my god, dizzy.
And I was like, you lost your eye working in a grocery store. You were in Vietnam
That's hilarious.
and you lost your eye working in a grocery store?
I met a lady who lost her eye in kind of a similar fashion. It was I went to this was back when I was living in Baltimore, freak thing. We think it might have been related to COVID because it was like February of 2020.
Oh no.
And I just suddenly had like a kidney injury, just an acute kidney injury. They couldn't figure out what happened to it.
It was teeth, hair, and brain matter.
Maybe. But I had to go to Hopkins. So I went there and I was in like one of the only rooms that still had a roommate. And so I had a lady from Eastern or Western Tennessee. I can't remember which, but they had to take her eye out because she was like, yeah, well, I was taking off my eye makeup with a Q-tip and I slipped and I scratched my eye a little bit. And I was like, oof, that hurt. And then I go to bed and I wake up the next morning and I can't see out of it. And so then I look in the mirror and I realized I wasn't going to get my sight back because it was a blind person's eye. It was the milky white eye.
Yeah, yeah.
And then she said, I called my doctor and they said, just come on in. And then next thing I know, they're putting me in a helicopter and I'm on my way to Maryland. And by the time she landed in Johns Hopkins, the doctor looked at her and was like, you're going into surgery now. We're taking the eye. If we leave it another hour, it's going to spread to your brain.
What was
and
it?
You'll die. They have no idea.
What?
Just a crazy infection. But they have no idea like what caused it.
That-
Like, it was just somehow the whatever bacteria got in when she scratched her eye and just like her eye was done like instantly. It's crazy. And then she was like a former pillhead, so then there were a whole bunch of problems with her. And then her boyfriend had schizophrenia, and he kept FaceTiming, and he's like, "Do you see this? It's in the bush." And then she's like, "Baby, there's nothing in the bush." It was so good. They were very entertaining.
So
I hope that lady's doing well.
No, she's not. She's not.
She was telling me, she's like, he has schizophrenia, so he just sees things.
I'm willing to
But
bet
they're
she's
not
going to lose
there.
that other eye.
She might.
She's probably lost that other eye. There's no way.
Yeah, she had a surprisingly good attitude for losing her eye.
You
If
don't
anybody
say.
took any of my body parts, I'd be pissed. But if they took specifically either of my eyes, either eardrum, or either tit, I'd be very upset. That would be like life ruining.
So if someone took one of your eyes,
Yes.
life crippling.
Yes.
Someone takes one of your eardrums, life over.
Yes.
Even though you can hear with the other ear,
Yes.
and then one of your tits.
Yes.
Even though technically they're not even your tits.
First of all, they're 80%. They are 80% mine. They're 80% my tits. I have very tiny implants. Go fuck yourself.
I'm just saying.
They're 80% my tits.
How much? What if they just took the implant? Would you still be bummed?
I'd be bummed because they would, they wouldn't have the same shape that they do.
And you just fill that with leaves or air or something. Just tighten it back up.
Yeah, I mean, if they just like pack dirt or something in it to keep the shape, I'd be fine.
I'm pretty sure you could just. I've always been. Didn't you say you were going to get bigger implants?
I would like to, but I got to lose the weight first.
Don't do that.
If I get bigger implants when I lose the weight, they'll be the size that they are now. I like the size that they are now, but I'm fat as shit. So don't you even fucking say anything.
Women are retarded.
I literally am a fucking mammoth next to you. I know I'm going to see this shit on YouTube and I'm going to be like,
You're not
look
a
at
mammoth.
that. Look
You're
at that.
Sicilian. It's different. And if you were Russian, I'd be like, she's just a big Ruski. Just big old fucking.
Yeah, I look like a fucking
tell people
fat
you're
ass
Russian.
Nona. I look like a fucking fat ass Nona, and I don't want to. I'm not even 30 yet.
Oh my God, you with the not even 30 yet.
I'm 30 in less than a month, and I don't like it. I'm very scared.
What do you think's going to happen when you turn 30?
I already look old.
What do you think's going to happen when you turn 30?
I'm closer to things being an abject or objective failure. I'm getting older, and it's embarrassing to be where I am in life at 30.
It's embarrassing to be where I am at 40.
I did not realize you were missing that many.
Yeah, so what are you talking about? I don't even have a credit score.
Oh, my credit score is terrible.
Oh, you know where I've never been? Anywhere.
Yeah, well.
So shut up. Shut up.
You don't want to go anywhere.
You know what I've never done? Fought 6 Italian cops
I'm
with my
not
fake
proud of
tits
that.
flopping all over the place.
One of the stories that I heard was that when my ex found me at one point, because I was just wandering, I was just out, and he found me, and I was in these biker shorts. I was in like little teeny tiny biker shorts, and I had a jacket, like a goose down jacket, zipped up, and then he like brought me to a hotel. And he was like, you unzip the jacket, no shirt, no bra, just jacket and shorts. And I was just wandering, and I was out there for hours. We have no idea where I was or what I did.
I'm
here.
So that's the whole thing
Alive.
is the way I look at this.
Yeah.
Is you're out of the woods, I guess.
Yeah, no, I'm totally.
So maybe don't be worried about turning 30. Because you know what you did when you were 29?
I lost the person I thought I was going to marry.
Keep going.
What did I do the entire year of being 29?
You went
Or just
crazy
then?
in Italy.
Yeah, I went crazy.
You went crazy in Italy.
And I hurt and offended all of my loved ones and traumatized them. Got broken up with by a dude that I thought I was going to marry.
Sure.
Got to be on a train that was also simultaneously on a boat. That was pretty neat.
All right.
Survived. Came home.
You had a whole mouth, brain, and hair removed from your fucking
Yep, I did do
sliz.
that. Yeah. Not mouth. It didn't have a mouth. It just had teeth.
If it did have teeth,
Yeah.
it had a mouth.
Okay. Didn't have a tongue.
I would say everything else seems like might be all right.
But now I have wrinkles.
Get an iron. You're going to be fine. Shut
You're the one that tells
up.
me not to get Botox.
I'm just saying you don't. Yeah, or you could you could age gracefully.
No, I'm
could
gonna
do
age
that.
like a little raisin.
That's also just do that.
I don't want to be a raisin.
Look at Pam Anderson. She looks.
She looks like a raisin.
No, she doesn't. She looks like a normal lady. She looks like a normal 67-year-old.
Well, actually, she looks like a very attractive 67-year-old.
She
I'm
didn't
not gonna
go.
look like
she didn't
that.
go
I'm
off
gonna
the
look
fucking
like I'm
deep
gonna look
end.
like a puddle of Play-Doh.
Not if you. You know. I don't know. Do what you need to do,
I'm gonna do what I need to do.
but don't.
Next time you see me, I'm gonna be like 20 pounds lighter, and I will not have another crazy incident, and I'll be 30, and I'll be fine. Everything's gonna be fine.
Wow.
It's all gonna be fine, and you're gonna have teeth in your head. It's gonna be good.
Next time you see me,
Yeah.
I am going to be 20 pounds lighter.
Yes.
I am going to be 30, and it's going to be fine.
Everything's gonna be fine. I grew a bush. I think that's fun. That's the thing I'm doing for my 30s. Yeah.
How's that working out for
I
you?
like it.
Well,
That's great. Embrace the bush. That's fun.
see, you're already
That's my like, all right, I'm older now. I'll have bush.
you thought
I'll have bush.
I'm going to do that.
I'm maturing.
Wow. And then you're not and see, that's the whole thing is like you're just picking and choosing what you think is maturity, but really
Oh, I don't have like a 401k or anything in retirement, and I live paycheck to paycheck, and I have 2 roommates right now. So
yeah, you're also 30.
yeah, that's sad.
No,
My sister's
that's-
24 and just bought a house, and she's getting married in less than a year.
Oh no, who cares? Who gives a shit?
I'm just saying. I'm not worried at 30, but I'm scared that is going to be the rest of my life. And when you're 20, it's like you can do those things and people look at you and you're like, that's fine.
No,
But when
no.
you're 30, people are like,
I don't think you understand how 30 works now. I don't think you understand how 30 works now. You can do whatever you want when you're 30. 36 is maybe start turning it up.
So I got 6 years. I gotta do everything.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you've done a bunch of shit already.
but I gotta be.
You
I gotta
went
do
crazy
more.
in Italy.
Go crazy.
So shut up.
All right.
You're fine.
I hope so.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Jesus
so.
Christ.
It's gonna be fine. Everything is gonna be fine.
These are also the more you say that, the ways you just sound like a crazy woman.
You're the one saying it's gonna be fine. What do you want me to argue
but the
with
way
you?
you're like, it's gonna be fine. It's everything.
That's what.
Name 3 things that are gonna be fine. You got to do it fast. 1.
I don't
2.
know. I don't know. Don't put me on the spot.
That's how the life is. That's how you think 30
well,
is
that's
going to be.
why I'm not doing
That's how you
well.
think 30 is going to be. All right, ready? On the spot.
I don't have an answer.
Josie, how are you going to navigate this next decade? You don't even have an answer.
I know. That's the whole point. That's my big fear.
Or you could just not care.
I can't not care. Then nothing will go right.
I don't know. I think you caring about a lot of stuff. Has it been going right? You caring about a lot of stuff. Has that been going right?
If I don't care, it's gonna really not go right. It's been going okay.
Just telling
Some
you.
things.
Maybe take the pedal off of the gas, pull the e-brake, and let it slide. Just fucking.
I'm gonna end up fucking 40 with no teeth. I'm going to take your advice and I'm going to be a toothless bitch.
You know what? There's a market for it. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
This has been the End Podcast with Ryan Shaner. Josie Marcellino,
Hi.
thank you so much for being on the show. Do you have anything to plug for the people listening?
You could just follow me. Well, when is this out?
Wednesday.
Tomorrow I will be at New York Comedy Club. I think at like 10.
Ooh.
So if you're there, go to that. Otherwise, just follow my social media at Josie Marcellino, which is JosieMarcellino.
Unfortunately, there won't be any pictures of her weird fetus that was inside of her. That is insane that you did not.
It wasn't a fetus. It was still me.
Doesn't matter.
It does, because there is another thing where you can like grow an ectopic pregnancy, and that's a little fetus in your junk. But that's a whole different thing. I didn't have that. This wasn't because I was pregnant. This was because my body was like, what if we duplicated?
The fetus, tomatoes, whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. We're going to switch over to the Patreon. Thank you so much. Make sure you call the hotline, 833-443-5300. We'll just any comment, question, concern, or weird, creepy message you want to leave out of fucking nowhere on there. We'll just try and figure it out what you're doing. We're going to switch it over later.